Yay. Welcome back for day 4 of the Red Hot Audience Boot Camp. Okay, so I'm Cassie MacKenzie. If you are just coming in on day 4, I'm a sales coach for coaches and consultants, and I help you to attract the leads and make sales in a way that feels fun and easy and aligned, so you attract more of your aligned clients and more of your real people. And a big part of the work that I do with my clients is not so much the strategy, even though I'm a big strategy dork, but a lot of it is the energetics and the mindset around what's possible, around money mindset, sales mindset, attracting the right clients, having the right clients in your audience. One of the biggest things I always hear from my clients usually is, you know, I feel like anybody who's already bought my program has already bought it. There's nobody left in my audience. Or if nobody's joined yet, or if nobody joined on early bird, then nobody's going to ever join, right? Nobody's going to pay full price when they could have joined at the beginning, right? So drop me a yes if any of these are resonating, because I hear these all the time. In fact, I used to believe them too. And a lot of this is really like, also, like, if you've been posting on social media, right? You're like, well, I've been posting for this long. Nobody's reached out to me. I've not gotten one inbound lead at all. So it must mean that I'm never going to sign clients. And to me, the danger with this is that if it goes on too long with you thinking that, then it's going to go from just being a thought that you had that led to you feeling like crap to being a belief, right? And it becomes a belief, and a belief is harder to break. It's not impossible. But as an NLP practitioner and hypnosis practitioner, that's why a lot of those modalities are used with my clients, and with reshaping and reframing and rewiring, all the right? Rewiring the way that your mind operates, because your mind's like a supercomputer, and once it latches onto an idea, it's like my puppy that latches onto the ball and won't stop staring at it, right? And if 95% of what you do every day is automatic, right? Like, your subconscious brain has gotten used, excuse me, to doing certain things every single day, and your mind is so powerful. So later in today's session, I'm going to take you through an exercise to show you exactly how susceptible your mind is, which gives you a lot of power. And also, I just want you to be open to suggestions, right? I want you to be open to suggestions in this workshop, and open to the suggestion that things get to be a different way, that you don't always have to have everything figured out right away. You don't have to have all of the pieces in place in order to make a move, or to launch a program, or to take an action, right? Like, to me, one of my old coaches always said, action takers are money makers. And I thought that was so cool, because it really is true. And it doesn't, I think some people take that to mean like the more action you take, the better results you get. And I don't believe in that. Because I'm somebody that can easily get caught up in hustle and doing things. And if you've ever paid attention to your human design, or if you know, drop me a yes if you know what your human design is, if you're into that. But I'm a manifesting generator, and I can go, go, go. I can do all the things, and you have no idea. Okay. It is pretty cool. I actually just interviewed somebody on my podcast, the I'm Not Salesy podcast. My most recent episode with Shanna DeWitt is amazing. She does human design. You want to get yours done? Yeah, you can go on. There's a website you can go on and get your profile for free. And there's a lot of human design coaches that can actually tell you, interpret it for you. And go listen to the talk with Shanna, because she actually incorporates this in with NLP in her sessions. I actually did a session with her recently to reshape some money beliefs that I had, that, crazy enough, a lot of these things and a lot of these beliefs, and I bring that up to say this, a lot of these beliefs, like, it's hard, money's hard, or business is hard, or sales is hard, or sales is crazy and fearful, and anybody who's making money are bad, or if you make a lot of money, something bad has to happen. Like, these are all the ways your mind is programmed. And I know I'm talking about money, although I'm a sales coach, but these things go hand in hand. And a lot of times what I find is it's not so much a strategy problem that my clients are having. It's more of a money mindset a lot of times, where you feel like, I need money. It has to come from this client. Like, it would be, an example could be if I was like, well, I'm launching the Sales Queen Takeover, and like, I have to have people join this program in order for me to make money or to have money come in this month, right? That puts a lot of undue energetic pressure on your clients and on your following, because they can feel it, right? They can feel that kind of like, oh my God, I need this to work. When in reality, money can come to you so many different ways. Usually on average, if I've had money come to me 10 different ways in 1 month. On average, it's usually about 6 or 7, and that's with me hardly even trying, right? But that's because I'm open to it. And actually, I'd love to have 30 or 40 different ways that money comes through. I have a coach who actually had 12 different ways that people in her coaching business paid her just this past month. So that goes to show that, and that wasn't even with her launching a whole bunch of different things. It was around taking different actions, implementing different little things, but also being open to the possibility that that could happen. So I hope to open your mind today to a wider range of possibilities for what can happen for you and your business right now. Because I think a lot of times is, your mind is, this is my NLP training coming out, but also what I've noticed in my own life and in my clients. But your mind is programmed to look at these results right here, right? Look at this reality right in front of you. And when you really want to zoom out and get that 20,000 foot view, because in truth, the rest of the world is still operating. Money might not be coming to you right now, but it's circulating everywhere. Right now, there's somebody just coining it. They're making billions of dollars just in this minute, sitting on their private yacht, right? Like, and just because it's not happening for you right now, it doesn't mean that it can't, right? And it doesn't mean that it couldn't in the next moment. It's all an availability, and a lot of that is energetic. So I'm going to channel all of this into continuing our conversation about content yesterday, and talk specifically about content in your DMs. And because I want to help you take action and see results, because the whole point of this week is to increase the amount of leads coming in and really open your business and open up your, specifically, I know we talked a lot about LinkedIn profiles, and that's where we normally hang out, right? But opening that up for more abundant flow of clients and money and everything coming through. Because the truth is, like, if your business is not making money and making sales, then it's more of a hobby and not a business. So we want to shift that in and make you start to see yourself as a CEO of a business, making daily decisions for your business and making big moves like you would look in the paper and see another CEO doing. Okay? All right. Now, also, the whole point of this is working smarter, not harder. I'm a huge proponent of that. And like I said earlier, it's easy for me to get caught in the hustle, and to get caught in the do, like get the to-do list. So I have had to actually consciously unprogram myself out of hustle mode all the time, because it was becoming really unhealthy for my body. I can actually tell in my body when I'm going overboard, because it's like ding, ding, ding. Hello. Yeah, your adrenals are overfired right now, and I think you need to sit this one out. Okay. And so it's come from training myself to recognize those cues, and also getting healthier in the process. So let me go ahead and share a couple things with you. And first of all, I just want to get your permission. Like, do you mind if I share a little bit more about the Sales Queen Takeover? Drop me a yes in the chat if you're cool with that, because I know I mentioned it kind of in passing in the last couple times, but I want to mention that quickly because, and not quickly, because like, it's a program that's starting in April. And sure, I love it. Yeah. I hope the monkey face wasn't for it wasn't for that question, right? I love it. Okay, so this is about not putting off learning to sell, right? You can't put off learning to sell anymore, because truthfully, the future of your business depends on it. You as a CEO need to be selling all the time. And I don't say that as the non-salesy sales coach. I say that as a friend, as a mentor, as a coach, as just somebody that really actually cares that your business is successful. I know there's a lot of people out there who are smoke and mirrors, who don't actually care and they just want to make money. And that's okay for them. It's not okay for me to do that, because that just never leads to an aligned place. And but it actually matters to me that you're successful. Okay, so I've created this program, the Sales Queen Takeover, because what I saw online is there's a lot of people who are really scared about selling. There's a lot of misconceptions around what selling in the DMs actually is. I think people make it out to be harder than it needs to be. And therefore, it gets intimidating, especially if you don't have a sales background. And so you can start doubting yourself even more. And honestly, I feel like if you're creating a business where you want the freedom to be able to hang out with your kids and take a vacation and not be tied to your computer all the time, and eventually even set up things like automated funnels where you don't actually have to be the one there shoving your leads through the sales process, and you can set up like an automated funnel where people come in and watch a training kind of like this and then decide whether or not they want to work with you. Like in any kind of business, that's the possibility, right? So there's all these ways where you can get leads coming into your business, and if you have leads coming in, you better know how to sell to them. Because if you don't know how to sell to them, you don't know how to have conversations, uncover what's going on, see where they want to go, and match that with what your transformation is going to be, then you're going to have a hard time running your business, right? And so what I created this because as a sales trainer for pharmaceutical companies, I recognize that even us as seasoned, trained sales professionals, we get trained on sales too. You would think like somebody like me with 23 years of experience wouldn't need to take a sales course, right? But it's the opposite. Like I need to do it just as much as you do because this is a skill set. It's just like going to the gym. If I stop taking my daily walks and I start like eating like shit every night, then I'm going to feel it after a month. Similar to if I stop keeping my skills sharp, say I like stop creating content for a month, do you think that'd be easy to get on that train again? Like, even though I have so much experience with it, it's not. And so what I've found with working with my clients is that people have learned to sell by watching others, and they've learned to avoid selling by watching others. And so the actual skill set there isn't strong, and it isn't something that you like to do. It's something that you're doing by default. But the thing is, if you're an online business owner, you need to learn how to do this every day in a comfortable way because your business depends on it, right? And it gets you in tune with what like the pulse of your clients. You can get so much information from your DMs that can help you create more programs and more offers, which then creates additional streams of revenue for you, which is not just more money coming in, but more people being served. So I feel like, this is for you if right now you're not making any sales or you're making very little. If you are a coach or consultant and you're making some sales, but you kind of hit this income plateau where, maybe you make a bunch, but then you could keep going back to where you were before, or you just, no matter what you do or how many actions you're taking, you still are bringing in the same amount of money every month. So clearly there's some sort of energetic minimum or maximum there. And then it's also for you if you aren't getting any inbound leads and you keep putting off, doing the outbound lead game, right? And the outbound DMs. Also for you, if you feel like you don't have anybody in your audience who's going to buy from you, or if you have an offer, but you haven't begun selling it yet. Okay. So this is, this, in my opinion, is going to change the way you do sales so that you actually love doing it. So you actually go to your DMs, and instead of avoiding them and seeing like, oh, there's people there, but I'm just not going to talk to them, right? Instead of avoiding that or reading a DM and not knowing how to respond, or feeling like you're going to be too salesy, instead of all of that madness coming up in your mind, you're able to actually confidently have a conversation and move on with your life, right? Instead of obsessing about it. You're also going to be working smarter instead of harder, so that you save time, you have less anxiety, and you have more money. And I'm giving you an easy process to put in place that's actionable so that we're not like complicating things and leading to overwhelm. So that you can do it every day and learn how to make it your own. I really believe everybody needs their own selling style. And so that's what I'm going to help you create so that it makes it second nature and something you can do in your sleep. Like that's really how sales should be, right? So it should be as easy as having a conversation with your partner about where you're going to go to dinner, you know? Which there's ways to get your right answer out of that too, right? Okay. So also, the other big point of this is accountability. Sarah, when you have the accountability with a mentor and a mentor support, you have a 95% chance of reaching your goal. I saw that stat one time and it blew my freaking mind. I had no idea. It was something like if you declare your goal to somebody else, then you have a 60% chance of reaching it. But if you declare it to a mentor and set up, regular meetings with them and have regular support, then you have a 95% chance of reaching your goal. And that is so powerful. So that plus being an actual sales trainer who trains actual sales teams, because there's a lot of people out there who just had a great income month and decided to teach sales and they don't actually know what the hell they're doing. Or there's people with great programs, but not a lot of like actual support, not a lot of access to them. They've put together a great like digital course, but they don't really have a lot of ongoing actual support where they get to know you and your business intimately. And they're able to give actual suggestions that speak to you instead of speak to the general population, because this is going to ensure that you do all the shit that you say you're going to do. All right. That's where that accountability comes in. So with this program, the deliverables that you're going to get, we're doing weekly calls, which are support calls that you can plug into if you want to. Also some training that you're going to go on and we implement it right away. So the biggest gap that I see is people offer courses and they offer the training, but then no implementation. So it leaves you to implement it on your own. And then you don't know where you're missing the mark. So I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to have you implement it right then and there and practice. So you get comfortable doing it and you're more likely to go out and do it yourself. All right. And then we also, you're with this first group coming through, you have a message. I don't know if I'm going to do either Voxer or Slack. I see benefits to both. So that's still up in the air, but either way, you're going to have a messaging app where you're going to be able to get message with me during the week to ask your questions that come up, similar to like what we've done this week with the Voxer messaging. And I find that helps you take action faster, but also get more ideas about what might be a great fit. And then you make money quicker too. And so the investment for this is going to be $3,000. The price is going to go up to $5,000 next week. And this is going to be a 4-month program. Like I said, if you sign up by the end of this week, or by the end of this week, then you get an extra month in the program. And then also, like I said, you're going to get the weekly coaching support and group messenger. And I have another bonus that you have to reach out to me to find out what that is, but it is really amazing too. So if you want more information on this, you can message me about it. Just say, Sales Queen Takeover. Ask me about the program, ask me about the details, and we can get you signed up. And it starts in April, but you'll get Voxer access with me. As people join, you'll get it so that you can start messaging with me immediately before the program starts and kind of get your plan in place. All right. So with that being said, though, that's why I really want to talk about content with, the right person. We talked about that earlier this week. And we talked about the right message and then the right frequency, right? And today I'm shifting the meaning of frequency into the right energetic frequency, all right? Because there's a difference between taking action every week and taking aligned action every week, okay? Here's the thing, like your DMs are a gold mine, all right? And when we talked about creating content, a lot of people take that to mean just your content that's on your posts or in the comments. But specifically content in your DMs is what leads to sales. And I want to preface this by saying, when you talk to somebody, one person in the DMs, I'm not saying that that's the person that's going to buy from you always. But if you shift and shape this conversation correctly, in the right way, then you could possibly get 5 sales out of that one conversation because their network might be full of people who are perfect for you. So that's why I feel like the DMs are such a gold mine. And like if you approach them the right way with a human component and with the goal, with the right goal in mind, and obviously I help you do this inside Sales Queen Takeover at detail. There's so much to go into that I can't do it all, obviously, all in one, quick session here. But the thing that I see people do the most is these fears, right? That like you think about, oh my God, the DM sales, that would be so great. Like imagine if I got, 5 sales out of making one connection and having one conversation in the DMs, right? So I think people think too much with the blinders on, right? Where you think, oh my God, I'm having this conversation with this one person. Are they going to buy from me? Instead of approaching a conversation with like a broader scope to it, right? Because I hear coaches say all the time, if they aren't a right client, just move on, right? But to me, that's pretty short-sighted because like I might have a conversation with Dennis one day and think, well, he didn't seem like he wants to buy from me, so I'm never going to talk to him again, you know? When in reality, like Dennis might have a network full of people or even be connected with training managers who are looking for a sales trainer to train their whole sales force, or that he might have a group of coaches that are looking for sales support. And I might likewise have a group of coaches looking for social media testimonial support, right? And so you've got to think of the broader picture here, and that's why you got to learn how to do this the right way, or else you're going to leave a whole lot of money on the table. But here's what typically stops people from taking action here. And remember, this is where the action takers are the money makers, okay? It's not about working, like sending the most messages possible. It's about sending the right messages the right way. And what stops people from doing that though are ideas like this, like what are people going to think of me? What is somebody going to think of me if I reach out to them after connecting with them? Why does DMing feel so skeezy? Are they automatically going to think that I'm selling to them if I start this conversation or if I ask about their business? Or I mean, that's just an example for me. And I guess, like, for example, if you're serving people who are in business, right? Or what are they going to just see straight through me? Are they going to know? Are they going to look at my tagline and say, well, she's just asking that because she, is a sales coach, or he's just asking that because he does video testimonials. And that's why it's so important to start these conversations in the right way, because they automatically think I'm selling. So that one resonates with you too. Yes. So exactly. And so that's why it's so important to learn how to start these conversations the right way and transition them into where you are starting to gather information that could potentially qualify them, right? But the point is, like, you don't want to allow these to hold you back, because but you do want to be aware of them, right? With that powerful awareness comes so much abundance and so much freedom too. So here's the thing. So your DM content actually comes down, I see it as like 2 branches, right? And I couldn't get my arrows to work. So sorry, I didn't put the arrows in, but you get the point. But it comes down to strategy and energetics. A lot of coaches teach just strategy and they teach a little bit of mindset, but they don't really go into the energetics. I not only teach you the mindset and teach you like NLP type, reasons, get you to understand why you're doing the things and getting you to change your behaviors, but also I love diving into energy healing on these and teaching you how to apply energy healing to your business, which allows you to tap into your intuition more, which speeds up the process as well. And so when you're connected with the energetics and the strategy here, the energetics is what's going to give you that confidence, right? You're approaching it with the right attitude, and you have a more intentionality to the process, which creates these non-negotiables, right? So when you're fully aligned with what you're doing in the DMs, and I say aligned as in energetics, right? Let me go back and explain if this is the first time that you're really hearing about business energetics or money energetics and alignment. So alignment just means your thoughts and behaviors. So you have like say you have this big goal, say you want to have a $10,000 month, right? And so you want $10,000 in sales. And so your goal of 10,000 in sales is aligned with the actions that it's taking to get to there, and your actions are aligned with your thoughts and beliefs, so that there's no resistance taking you off your path, and it's almost like an arrow where your thoughts and your ideas are going to lead straight to that goal, and that goal just effortlessly happens, right? Think of the things that happen super effortlessly in your life, and when they happen effortlessly in your life, you are you're fully aligned with that. Okay, so your energetic alignment comes from the you not having any resistance in between the process where you have your thoughts and then the actual result comes. Okay, so if you're like, oh, I want to eat pizza tonight, you have no doubt in your mind that you're going to know where to get the pizza, how to get it, even what time, what it's going to look like, and who's going to hand it to you. So we want your results in your business to come with that level of, yeah, I know what's going to happen. This is what I need to do. This is the thing I need to do. These are the actions I need to take. You're fully confident. You have that attitude. It's a non-negotiable. Like, no, I'm not going to Pizza Hut. I'm going to go to Bella's. Are you kidding me? Are you like, whatever? You know what I mean? So you have, just like in business though, where do we start to see the resistance come up? Okay, this is where a lot of people don't realize that the sales process actually starts with before the DMs even sent. So if you're talking about DM content and I'm talking about sales in the DMs, I want you to, like, if I probably shouldn't have given you an answer, but if I were to ask you, where do you think the sales process starts? What would you have said? Like, at what point do you feel like the sales process in the DMs actually begins? I'd love for you to drop it in the chat. And be honest, because I can tell I'm psychic. Because I think a lot of people would say, well, the selling process starts when I start telling them about my offer, right? Or the selling process starts when I start asking them questions about their business. When in reality, the selling process actually starts before you start connecting with them. And if you think about it, this is what like you got to think about the energy that you're bringing to the conversation, because going back to day one and thinking about the niche that you chose, did you notice there's a lot of people who fought the niche, did not want to narrow down? And if you think about this in relation to dating, if you don't want to narrow down who you're going for, then are you really going to find the best partner, or are you just going to be available to anybody? Are you not, you're going to basically go to a field of people and be like, I guess it could be any of you. Everybody's just the same. Everybody's a possibility, right? I remember back in the days when I was dating people and I could find no wrong in anybody. It was right after I got divorced, but it didn't really go that well for me. And so I didn't meet my husband until I decided on actual standards of what I wanted and what was non-negotiable. And so I feel like in what I noticed with my clients in calling clients forward is that, there's this energy of being like needy, like I'll take anybody with a credit card, and then this energy of having the standards, right? And having these non-negotiable standards, instead of saying I need clients, it's more of like I want to work with fill in the blank. Okay. And so if you think of this too, like, and where I think this comes from is the money mindset. That's why I started with that at the beginning, where you start to think of your business as the only place that money can come from, so it has to come through that channel. And when it has to come through that channel, then you start to think, well, it has to come from these certain people because they're in front of me. And so it puts pressure on those people, and it puts pressure on you to put out content and to be interacting, and then that content might not necessarily be the most aligned, right? And your decisions, you might take clients that aren't aligned, that just drive you crazy, and which then later on, it seems like a great idea right now because it makes you money, but later on it's just a whole bunch of problems, right? And so if like really take stock right now and answer honestly, and you can answer it in the chat if you want, or just answer to yourself, but where have you been so far up until now? Have you been approaching your business as, well, I'll take anybody with a credit card, or have you been selective? Because this is shown in building your audience, all right? When you get those connection requests, yeah, I've been told that like at the beginning, it is kind of a numbers game because you want to, at least get enough followers and like connections and all to that look robust, right? And then eventually niche down. Like that's some advice some people get. I personally think, why not build your audience full of ideal people from the beginning? And if you know who that is, seek them out online and then interact with them and build that. Or are you saying, well, I'll just take anybody, right? And because if you think about it, you wouldn't go apply for a job. Let me ask Dennis. Dennis, I know you live in Russia now, right? Would you, if your business exploded today in the wrong way, would you go work at a gas station in Russia? Or would you like be like, no, I'm not doing that? No way, right? So why do we look at business as, well, I would never do that because that's not up my standard, but then consider taking a client that might not be the standard, right? And so that's a lot of the work that I end up doing with my clients, because I'm like, do you want to go and do XYZ job right now? And why not? Right? Like, no, because you don't want to. So why would you want to work with clients just because they have a credit card, right? Why not start to seek out aligned clients and have these aligned conversations and really know and understand how to speak to them, what their needs are, what their problems are, seek out, like figure out what it is that they need and how you can best meet that need through these DM conversations, right? And that's where it's a gold mine. Okay. So I really want you to understand, though, that it comes down to where you are now versus where you want to be, and how much you can start mentally putting yourself in the imaginary body of the future you that has what you want, right? And start to make decisions from that version of you, right? So if I, like, say I want to have a 7-figure business one day, would I be running programs or putting out offers or slashing my prices or doing that just to get somebody in my program at that level? Or would I have standards of, well, this is who I am, this is non-negotiable, I'm willing to work with you on creating something tailored for you if it's aligned for both of us, but I'm not going to devalue myself just to make a dollar, because then I feel kind of like I'm whoring myself out, and that's not the vibe. So the other part of this is the strategy, right? So in the DM in your content, you've got these energetics. And as you can see, like maybe you can start to notice why I would say something, which I've said in recent posts, that really business and sales is 80% energy, sometimes 90% energy and 10% strategy. It's not so much what you do on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't start with that. It doesn't start with your to-do list and your strategy and your content. It comes from who you are when you're taking those actions. So leveling out, like in your mind, like who are you, what's your non-negotiable, getting in that confident state, getting in that place where you are then going to take action that is bold and powerful, instead of being the version who's not getting the success or afraid of doing DMs or not making the sales, and then creating the content from that sort of energetic vibe, which then dilutes everything down the stream, right? So a lot of the work that we're doing is around this energetics. That's why I wanted to devote a whole entire day to this. And if you go look at a lot of other coaches' 4-day challenges and things, they're not putting an entire day into mindset and energetics because, I don't know why. Like maybe they want to make you believe that it's all strategy, but it's not. It's not all strategy. This is a lot of the work that we do. Okay. But that being said, let's talk about strategy. Here's where you can start to get more energy behind your programs and behind your sales efforts by creating this process. All right. Now, having your content, knowing the problems, asking the right questions, making your people feel seen and heard while you're in the DMs talking to them. These are all very important strategic things to do. And what I found and what my clients have found is when you have a clear process to follow, it builds the trust naturally. All right. It builds that trust. You know, like how people say, just trust the process. Well, it's hard to trust the process if you don't have one and if you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? So you want to make sure that, I mean, that's why I say work smarter, not harder. That's why I give you, like, I am the queen, not just of sales, but queen of figuring out what is the fastest path to the goal, right? Where's the shortcuts? How can we take the complexity out of this? I hate when I have to like listen and follow somebody's instructions where they're like, follow these 10 steps to get to the goal. When it could have taken two. It was just like totally grates at me, like to be honest. But it's a benefit for you because I find the shortcut and then share it with you. So you want to make sure that you are following like the path. Like, here's the thing. It's not just about finding the shortcut. It's about looking at what do you want to be doing 6 months from now, right? Do you want to create processes now that support your dream of being able to just work 2 hours a day and be done with it? You know, and then be able to spend time traveling the world and seeing your kids and hanging out or going kayaking or I don't know, like just chilling and reading a book for once? Or do you want to build a business off of hustle and doing all the things and hoping something works? And then 6 months down the road, you're like, you've patterned yourself into needing to work that much to make money, which then ends up actually, from a mental standpoint, keeping you at that money plateau because you put so much into making a few $1,000s that the idea of making 4 times that equates to 4 times as much work. And then you're like, subconsciously, you block yourself from more business. So that's not the vibe. We don't want any of that happening, which is why we want an easy process to follow. And we want a repeatable process that works and that feels good. So you want to do it and you actually enjoy doing it, right? So this process starts, like I said, before you even DM them, because here's where the first sales point is. When you are either clicking connect button on somebody else on LinkedIn or connect or friending or following on one of the other platforms, or you're deciding whether or not to accept somebody else in. Okay. It's not when you send the DM. That's not when DM sales starts. I see it as it starts with that first point of contact and deciding, is this somebody I could see myself working with? Does this seem like it could be like, it doesn't have to be like 100% fit, but at least has to be, you know, in my opinion, the faster way, the work smarter, not harder way is from the beginning, are they a good fit? Could they possibly be a good fit? Are they at least in the niche that I want to serve? Are they a coach? I get people all the time who want to connect with me who are like social media managers or, you know, I don't know, ghostwriters and things. And like, I just have to see, are they really a consultant? Are they here for the long game? Like, I want somebody who's in it to win it, you know? I want somebody who really is serious about starting their business because I've got a lot of training under my belt and it's actually a waste if you're not going to follow it. You know what I mean? So are you making decisions like this before you even connect with them? Okay, so drop me a yes in the chat if you're following this. If you Chastity, what's your shirt say? I want to know. I'm curious. Well, I can't see. I'm just here for the what? I should have worn my Outcast Stankonia shirt. Like, I think that would have been a really great one. Red hot, right? I'm just here for the halftime show. See, I know you're my people. I really love it. I love that. Oh my God. Okay. So this is okay. I'm about to blow your mind. All right. And I know I sent an email out. Let me read my own email because I get that. I have to do this, you know, like where you're testing your opt-in pages. So you end up putting your own email in. So I have to like unsubscribe myself half the time. Okay. Anyway, I said you're going to learn how to energetically align. No, there was something else that I said. I don't know. I say so many amazing things all the time. Oh, well, whatever. Okay. You're going to find out where these people are hanging out. It was, you know, if you feel like everybody who's already bought my offer has bought it, or everybody who there's nobody else left in my audience who's going to buy, or there's nobody left in my audience who's going to sign up. If they haven't signed up by now, then nobody's going to sign up. Like there's nobody left, right? I have been guilty of this because as humans, we like to look at the evidence, right? We like to keep score. That's what your mind is programmed to always be keeping score with your efforts to your results, right? And the thing about that is that's not how the universe works. That's not how life works, okay? And I believe I used this example yesterday. I don't think I used it in a different training, but I think you used it yesterday. But it's similar to, right, being at the grocery store, and just because you're buying milk, it means nobody's out there buying bananas, right? There's nobody in the banana aisle who's going to come get milk afterwards. And that's just not the truth, right? So when you're thinking about your audience, you got to think of this in terms of there's three different realms, all right? You've got three realms of three, like they're like buckets, right, of where people are and where people exist. The first one is always going to be your realm of predictability. Okay. Now, your realm of predictability are those predictable payments that are going to come in, right? The predictable people who have said they're going to work with you, they're already working, they're already paying you. And you know that, or there's other streams of income where you know that the money's coming in, or you know where the sales are coming in. Okay. Then you've got the realm of probability. Okay. Where these are people who have said they've shown interest in your offer. Maybe they've reached out and said, I really want to join and I'm going to join your offer. I'm going to join your program. Send me the link. I'm going to join today. Right. A lot of times we just exist and pay attention to the predictable realm because we know what's coming in. We think we know that that's it. And then sometimes we consider the probable realm. And we put a lot of pressure on the probable realm of, well, this person said, send me the link, and they haven't paid yet, so they better pay. And then that leads to like coming unraveled there too, right? Drop me a yes if you've been there and you've done that. I know I have. And so the third realm, though, is the one that we forget about. And this is the realm of possibility, right? This is our potentiality. This is the realm of potentiality where limitless possibilities exist. This is where the people who are, you don't even know about, they're watching you, and not in like a peeping Tom kind of way. They're like watching you. They are liking, they might not be liking or commenting like the ones in the probability realm. They might not even be interacting with your content at all. Like you don't even know that they're there. But they've said to themselves over and over again, I think I want to join her program. They just haven't told you yet. So the place where this comes in is that moment where you're looking at your recent connections list and you're saying, man, I really should start sending DMs to these people. Like I really should start reaching out to people. I really should start posting content regularly. But nobody's joined my program yet. Nobody's hired me yet. So what's the point? It's just falling on deaf ears. Nobody's watching anyway. Nobody's going to notice. When in reality, that person who just that morning woke up and thought, ooh, I wonder what Dennis posted today. I really, I'm just waiting on him to post one more time and then I'm going to hire him. And I probably should reach out to him, but I haven't yet. So say Dennis decides, I'm not seeing any results here. This is just a waste of time. I don't even see the point anymore. I could be off doing 500,000 other things. So I'm just not going to post anything. And he just ghosts, just goes away. Meanwhile, these people in the realm of potentiality who are about to buy and about to message him and start to move into the probable and predictable realms, right? Starting to move forward, they just confused. Where did he go? What's happening? I guess he's not here anymore. He must not be doing his business. So you could have gone from making, a sale, possibly 10, 20, 30 sales. The thing is, we don't know how many people are there. We don't know how many people are energetically in that realm because they never have the chance to come forward. And so that's the point in being energetically available for that. It's called like the magic and miracles realm, where it just seems like, wow, today was so magical. Like all of this stuff happened and I didn't even expect it. And so I'll tell you an example of this, like, because like I mentioned earlier, I like doing energy healing with my clients. And there's like a one energy healing technique that I always keep coming back to, like pretty often, like once or twice a week. And it involves clearing out the blockages, looking at the relationship from an energetic standpoint between you and your offer, or you and money, or you and your business. So I do this regularly too, because we all energetically close off to opportunities, or these beliefs will pollute the connection that we have with our offers and money in our bank account. And so I I was sitting there doing this one day, and I literally had this like epiphany about money and about like a direction I want to take my business. I think, it was around when I was deciding to do more sales training for pharmaceutical companies and things like that, and really like double down on that side too. And so I literally did this exercise. And the next day, I was standing in my kitchen. So I had no proof that anything was ever going to happen. I had no idea, but I got this call from the owner of a company who was putting together a couple of sales forces, and he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I'm wondering if you can start on Monday. I've got these sales forces coming together and I need somebody," right? And I was like, oh my God, like this is out of the blue. I mean, I saw the name and we had talked like previously, like a couple weeks prior, and I wasn't supposed to hear from him for like a few weeks. And then the date for starting with them would have been like possibly months down the road. So I knew that it was a possibility. There was something out there. I did not expect it to come through, but he literally called me and like, "Can you start on Monday?" Now, imagine I had the story in my head of, well, in order to sign a deal, it has to take X amount of time. There has to be this amount of weeks. Like I see it all the time online. Like people I talk to in the DMs are like, "Well, I'm warming up my audience. I've been at it for about 9 months now." And I'm like, "Honey, it doesn't take 9 months to do this. Like, what in the hell? Like, I don't even know where to start with you." So, like and this is the truth. Like, when you are open to the magic and the miracles and the possibilities that things don't have to take a certain amount of time. It can literally happen in an instant. Your $10,000 month doesn't have to take, and this was one client that was going to pay like $5,000 recurring every single month, and for me to do like a few hours of training, which is ridiculously fun and easy for me. Like it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be a struggle, and and it doesn't have to take a certain amount of time. Just because somebody said, and then, the thing that really pisses me off is when other coaches put their limiting thoughts on what's possible for you too, and so some people will say, well, it's really hard to make your first 5K month, or your first 10K month, or even your first $1,000 month, or to sign high ticket clients. Like it has to be this way or that way. And it doesn't have to be any kind of way except the way you decide it gets to be. All right. Now, that's also being open, right? That's open to the miracles, open energetically from a mindset perspective, being able to align your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with the end result that you want. And a lot of this is the work that I do with my clients. Like I can't not do this. It's like such a huge part of the work. And so, when you're keeping all these keeping all these realms in mind, that's when those beliefs of everybody who's already bought, is done. Like everybody who's already joined, everybody who's already opted in, you know, it's done. There's no way anybody else is going to watch this. There's no way anybody else is going to be able to pay me. Like it can't be. I've already talked to everybody, right? Which is so false. Like even for this event, every single day I get new people opting in. And I haven't even been promoting it that much, you know, but the value's there. It's always there. And if you guys haven't watched I know like a couple of you guys have been here for every, I want to say every episode, but if you haven't watched the others, like go back and watch them, because there was a lot of really great content. And this whole series is going to be repackaged as a paid offer on my website after we're done. So the free version is going to be here for about 48 more hours, but go back and watch them in the entirety. And I know, Simone, you joined about halfway through. I had to start today at 9:30. So, you know, go back and watch the first half, because there was a lot of really great zingers for you in there. But you want to know that you are fully focused on all of these realms. Okay. Who's open for the magic and miracles realm? It doesn't, like, the thing is, it doesn't have to take a certain amount of time to have, you know, to have clients come in and to have, like, say you have a $1,000 offer and your goal is $5,000 per month. Who's to say that 5 people can't come forward on the same day, in the same hour, in the same minute? So a $5,000 month becomes a $5,000 minute or a $5,000 hour, you know, like it doesn't have to take a certain amount of time. There's no rules. It's just all infinite. Okay. But you got to be open to it. And I'll be honest, this is work that you need to be doing consistently. This isn't do it once and then reap the rewards. It's do it consistently every day. I will say I've actually started doing breath work to help with the like regulating your nervous system to repattern your brain. And I will say, like, that's been phenomenal. So I'm going to be adding that into these programs too, as I get more proficient with it. So stay tuned for that too. All right, let me see if you guys have any questions about what we've covered, because we're about to wrap up. And I'm just gonna take you through one little quick exercise, take a couple minutes, that'll show you how powerful your brain is. Because here's the thing, think about these steps that happen before the sale happens. All right. Like, what happens in all of those steps? This is where you might procrastinate and not send the message, right? This is where you might see a message sitting there, not replying it, or overthink about what to send and not reply, or not know what to say. And so you just don't say anything at all, right? So these are ways that, like, when you're energetically not aligned with the actual result, and we're not clear on what's going on mentally, you know, and energetically, then you really cut yourself off from the possibility. So I'm going to show you how powerful your mind is. And I want you to go ahead and close your eyes if you can and take a deep breath. Chastity, this will take like just a few seconds. This will be like a minute, so nobody will think that you're sleeping at your desk. Okay, now imagine you're sitting on a beach, like a really hot beach, and you can hear the seagulls and you see like the water, and you're like, oh my God, that water, I'm so thirsty. I really want some lemonade, right? So you decide, I'm going to get up, put your hat on, put your towel around you. You go up to your beach house and walk up the steps. You open the door and you feel that cold air rush onto you. And you're like, oh my God, you know that feeling where you're like, your body's kind of sticky from the sand and the suntan lotion, but then you go in and it's like the air conditioning's like, bam. So you walk into, at least in America, right? Like air conditioning, it's not like the Mediterranean breeze just hits you right, like Dennis was used to. So you go walk through there and you go into your kitchen and put your hand on the handle of the refrigerator. And as you open the refrigerator, like that cool air comes out again, and you notice a lemon is sitting there. So you're like, yes, I'm gonna make my lemonade. So you grab the lemon and you can smell it. It's like smells so amazing, that citrusy smell. and walk over to the counter where there's your cutting board. You grab a knife and decide, okay, I'm going to cut right through this lemon. And as you do, like the juices all go everywhere. You're like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. So as you squeeze the juice into a cup of water that you have, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta taste this. So you put the lemon in your mouth and you're like, oh, it tastes, like all tangy. And I want you to stop right there for a second and think about what's going on in your mouth right now. And drop it in the comments. Tell me, how does your mouth feel right now? What's going on? Salivating. Yes. Okay. Because this is the power of your mind. You don't have to actually be experiencing something right in front of you in order for the reaction and the result to come. You just have to take your mind there. Your mind is so suggestible, it's so powerful that if you can create this picture and you can create the experience in your mind and you can go there first, then you can literally create anything that you want. Yeah, you're milked. I love it, Dennis. Okay. You can literally create any outcome that you want. Just think about which outcomes are you creating right now with the train that you're, like the pattern that your mental train has been on versus, and is that in alignment with where you want it to go? Or has your mental train been on kind of like off track, right? Where it's not supportive of getting you to that destination as quickly as you could get there. Like, do you want to make money today or a month from now? Chances are you want to make it today. So are you making the decisions right now to make money today, or are you making decisions right now and taking action right now to show up and make money like a few months from now, at some date to be just decided, right? So this is why I believe, absolutely love visualization. Yes. Yeah. Because, it's things like this, it's things like hypnosis, and it's things just simply taking yourself there. Picture what it is that you want. How do you want your business to go? How do you want your DM situations to go? If you are imagining people are going to think I'm a freak and they're going to think I'm weird and not respond well, then what do you think? What kind of energy do you think is attached to the words that you're sending off? Like, if you're more in alignment with, oh my God, people love getting messages from me and they see my name there and they're like, holy crap, I can't believe she messaged me, right? If you have that kind of attitude, how do you think it's going to be received? Hmm? Did I just blow your mind? This is the magic of energetics in your business. You can create whatever outcome you want. I just ask you to really get honest with yourself about what actions or like what energy have you brought to the table until right now. Can I repeat which part? I'm just kind of free flowing. So your mind before flowing. So your mind is going to, okay, if like say you have an intention of, I'm going to send a DM today, and you have an ideal client's name sitting there right there, right? You just connected with an ideal client. You can approach this from, let's just use two different examples, from the energy of, every time I send a message, these people they see my name on there and they're so excited and blown away that I'm messaging them. Like, they see what I do and they're like, holy crap, I needed to talk to him today. And you send them a message to connect with them and start to ask questions, get to know them. How do you think you're going to be received if you approach it from that energy versus the energy of, oh, they're gonna think I'm a freak. I'm just gonna connect with them and send them a message and then ask questions, and you feel kind of awkward and you're like, I'm probably bothering them. They probably think that I'm salesy or skeezy or trying to get money out of them, right? Like when you're approaching it from that energy, how do you think it's going to be received? Because your mind is envisioning a result, and your mind's going to work subconsciously, right? It's going to work to get that result. So it's going to seek out all the words and all the things and all the patterns, things like that, in order to get that result either way. So instead, you want to make sure that you're getting in that energy of like, holy crap, every time I send a message, people are so excited to hear from me. Every time I send a message, I always get like a great response back. This is the energetic work that we do. And that's the type of energy to approach this DM game so that you start to get the best result possible. Okay. So let's see. I think that was it. Okay. Yeah, because this is where the real change is going to happen. Thank you. Did I blow your mind? Did I blow your mind the second time? Okay. So ask yourself, am I doing? Am I doing things in alignment with, you loved it. I love it. Are you doing things in alignment with where you want to go or where you've already been? Are you doing things in alignment with like who you've already been and the results you've gotten in the past? Or are you envisioning where you want to be and then energetically getting there and then taking action from that space? And doing the work that you need to heal and clear. And, you know, I'm not just saying, hey, I just imagine that everybody likes me and then it all works out. But like, that's the first step. And sometimes you come up to some things that need to be healed, and there's ways to heal it faster than others. Like people say, just journal your way and affirmation your way. And I used to be one that used to say that, but I found other ways that are faster now that I use in my programs. So, and they all get to the same place, just some of them get to that place faster. Okay. So but the truth is your business can't run without sales. And so if you have all these leads, and let me know how all of this goes, like what you implement, stay in touch with me. Let me know. It really honestly does matter to me if you get results, and when you have success, I love cheering you on, because like the truth is, when you have all of these leads and you have these people coming in wanting to connect with you and talk to you, you better know how to sell to them, right? You better know how to sell to them, and you better do it confidently. And so if you want to do that and sell better and sell confidently and show up and have it be something that you love, I'm your girl. I'm here. You can reach out to me anytime. If you're interested in joining the Sales Queen Takeover, send me a message. I'd love to have you. And either way, I look forward to serving you again in the future. I hope you guys are doing great. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you online.